When people look back at my career at the U of M, I think most would assume the highlight would be winning 3 Big Ten championships in 3 years. Well, those are definitely highlights. The memory I hold most dear is the day after our season ended in Cal State Fullerton. That day I sat next to 14, John, on the flight home. We didn't talk about baseball or the season that just ended. We talked about life, what lessons I learned in my time at the U, and he assured me that I was ready for the next step in my career. See, the thing about John is that while he has won over 1,300 games as a coach, that's not what defines him. Before preparing this speech, I reached out to numerous former Gopher players from throughout the years, and I asked them, what has John meant for the Gopher program, and what has John meant to you? The answers I got were roundly similar. He's a leader, he's passionate, intense, a mentor, and a friend. Dan Wilson, who played at the U in the late 80s, and he's here tonight, said, John taught me the value of relationships in my life. It's not about where we go, but that we should cherish the people along the way. Paul Molitor said, while his coaching record speaks for itself, it's his ability to develop young men and develop lifelong relationships that has earned him the highest level of respect from so many. Well, we can say that his legacy is winning nearly 600 games in the Big Ten or 11 Big Ten championships. What defines John Anderson the most is the mark that he has left on the players he has coached long after they were done playing for him. That's a true lifetime achievement. Congratulations, 14, from all of us at the Gopher baseball family.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here this evening to support a very special and wonderful cause at the University of Minnesota, and hopefully we can improve other people's lives as we go forward here, that they may be able to find some cures to enhance those people that are going through some of life's struggles. So it's a wonderful evening and a special evening. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the Minnesota Twins, Twin Cities chapter of Baseball Writers Association of America, and the Diamond Awards Committee for this incredible honor as the 2019 Herb Carneal Lifetime Achievement Award. It's a humbling honor from a young man from rural Minnesota up on the Iron Range, a small mining town of Keewatin. I grew up and really developed my passion for the game following the Minnesota Twins at a very, very young age. I remember coming to the old Met Stadium with my mother and dad and brother and watching the Twins greats and really starting to develop that passion and love for the game. And then listening to many broadcasts that Herb Carneal did also enhanced my love and passion for the game. And to be up here tonight and have an opportunity to get an award from the Twins organization and Herb Carneal's name is somewhat surreal to me. As I looked at the list of past honorees, there was obviously some very, very impressive people on there. But the one person who really jumped out at me was Carl Pohlad. Early in my career as a coach, I developed a special relationship with Carl and Eloise Pohlad. They were very, very supportive of the University of Minnesota baseball program and the entire Twins organization. And that organization, to this day, in the Pohlad family, Jim especially, have continued to support our program and make a tremendous impact on what I've been able to accomplish and our program's been able to accomplish throughout the decades. As I stand up here, my thoughts turn to over the last 4 decades. How did I get here? I came to the University of Minnesota in the fall of 1974. As most Minnesota young kids did, wanted an opportunity to play for the legendary coach Dick Siebert at the University of Minnesota. And I remember I wrote him a letter in the summer of 1974 and asked him if I could walk on and have an opportunity to try to play in this great baseball program. And I remember when I got a reply back that I could, and that opportunity, that's really what opened the door for me in this wonderful career that I've been able to work at one place, at one wonderful institution, over 4 decades. If it wasn't for Dick Siebert, that opportunity he gave me to have an entrance into this tremendous program, there's no way I would be standing up here today. It's hard to imagine that a small kid from rural Minnesota could come to the University of Minnesota. I didn't write my 8th grade career paper on being the baseball coach at the University of Minnesota, that's for sure, but it happened. And I remember the first practice I went to, I got an opportunity to size up the other players, and one of the players that was out there was Paul Molitor. And I was a pitcher, and quickly I realized that I better figure out what else I'm going to do with my life, because if I have to get him out, my career is long but over. But how did it happen? How do you coach over 4 decades at the University of Minnesota as a Division I coach? You surround yourself with incredibly talented people. I've been blessed, as Glenn mentioned, to coach some outstanding young men, to mentor some outstanding young men, and they're the lifeblood of what we've been able to accomplish there. If you want to be a great coach, surround yourself with great talent. And I've been blessed in that manner to be surrounded by great talent, great young men. You can't be a great coach or teacher without great students, and I've had those. And also for the wonderful assistant coaches that served alongside of me and shared this journey with me and their contributions to our success. I'll be forever grateful, especially for Rob Fornacier. He was my assistant for 33 years, retired after the 2018 season, and his fingerprints are also all over the successes that we've had in my tenure at the University of Minnesota. Also for our alumni, we have an incredible group of former players and alumni that have supported me throughout my career. Without them, without their support, their willingness to help us put a competitive team on the field year after year, this would not be possible. We have what I've said many times, the finest alumni group of any sport at the University of Minnesota, and they have contributed immensely to our success there. And without them, again, this wouldn't be possible. In order to sustain a level of success over a long period of time, it's always about people. And I've been blessed to be surrounded by some tremendous people, many, many donors who have contributed to our program and provided opportunities for our student athletes to have a wonderful experience. Without their support and their contributions, we wouldn't have had the success we've had over this period of time. I'm most proud of the fact that I've been able to mentor and help young men grow and prepare them for the next 50 years of their life. And that to me has been the greatest honor and the best part and the greatest success of my career at the University of Minnesota. And I'll end by kind of how it started. I want to thank my parents for bringing me into the world, and I'm very, very fortunate tonight that I have my mother of 91 years here with us tonight, Mary Ann. And also, before I finish, I'd like to thank my wife, Jan, of 27 years. She's supported me and loved me, raised our wonderful daughter, Erin, and has allowed me to fulfill my passion and my love for coaching and spend the hours and time that I've been able to be able to impact other people's life. And to our daughter, Erin, who could not be here, my biggest fan, also my strongest critic, wish she could be here. And she's been a wonderful inspiration. I'm so glad I've been able to share this journey with both of them. The tables of former players and donors and supporters and friends that are here tonight, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And to the Minnesota Twins, thank you very much for your support and this wonderful honor. Go Twins.
Hello? There we go. I don't think people realize what a stable position the baseball coach at the University of Minnesota has been. Other than the 3 years when George Thomas filled in on a part-time basis, Dick Siebert took the job in 1948. Then there were 3 years of buffer between him and you, and now you've gone on your great run. I mean, that's quite a legacy just to be that part of such a stable situation.
Well, the baseball program at the University of Minnesota is the oldest sports program. This will be the 132nd season of Gopher baseball. And I think when you really look at the history and tradition, it's got a tremendous history and tradition with 3 national championships and one of the leaders in Big Ten championships and all the successful major league players that have come out of the program. I think when you look at it, it goes back to stability and leadership. There's only been 3 coaches in the last 73 years, so
It's incredible.
it's incredible. And of course, George Thomas, he played there, and he was connected to the program,
Right.
and now myself. So this is, when I look back, it's so humbling, it's so surreal to try to figure out what happened. I showed up at the University of Minnesota just trying to have an opportunity to play the game I loved, and all of a sudden, probably the best thing that happened when Dick Siebert told me one day, "You better figure something else out, young man, because your ERA is much higher than your GPA, and that's not good."
Well, you mentioned the chief, Dick Siebert, up there, and referenced him again. What specifically did you learn about baseball or how to manage a baseball team?
Well, I think anybody that was around the chief, Dick Siebert, he was a coach that believed in executing the fundamentals of the game. He was a tremendous teacher of the fundamentals of the game and being able to do the small things that you had to do to catch the ball, be able to play catch, throw the ball, make contact, be able to throw strikes. But he was a tremendous teacher of the fundamentals of the game. And honestly, when I first met him and got to know him a little bit better, he played professional baseball, Major League Baseball, but when he got the job, he's told me, I had no idea how to coach. I knew how to pitch and how to hit a little bit, but I had no idea how to tell somebody how to turn a double play. I had no idea how to teach somebody to catch a ground ball or a fly ball. So he spent an enormous amount of time, and I remember when I got the job and his library of books were still there, that all the books he read, and he had things underlined and things in the margins, and he always was a student of the game right up to the very end. He always wanted to learn more about the game and find better ways, and I've always taken that with me, that if we're going to have a good team and a good program, we better be able to teach the fundamentals of the game, and we better keep learning and growing as we go through our careers, and always try to find a better way.
Man, you brought them out tonight. Paul Molitor's here, Glenn Perkins, Dan Wilson came all the way in from Seattle, and it's easy to, I guess, point to those guys as being the success stories, or some of them anyway, of your career. But that, I know you well enough to know that's not how you judged your success, that you've had Major League All-Stars and Hall of Famers come through your program.
No, I haven't. It's really been about the relationships, and we've been able to create lifelong relationships, and Greg Olson and Terry Steinbach are out there.
Yep.
They were on my first team in 1982, and they made me look pretty smart. It's probably why I'm still coaching. And so, I mean, and for us to still have relationships from my first team in 1982, and to have the alumni and these guys come back tonight and be here to support me is really a testament to what I've really enjoyed the most in my career, and that's the wonderful relationships I've built with former players and our alumni, and the special times that we've shared.
John, I'm so delighted you won the award. The award is named after a legend, and you, my friend, are a legend. Let's keep it going now. You got plenty of years left in you, right?
Well, this season 39, but who's counting, right?
Nice hand for John Anderson.